The Art of War. Book by Sun Tzu. Detailed summary. 1. Calculations. Chapter 1 of The Art of War focuses on the importance of calculations in warfare. Sun Tzu begins by stating that warfare is of vital importance to the state, and that it is a matter of life and death. He emphasizes the need for careful planning and calculation, stating that one who knows the enemy and knows himself will not be in danger in 100 battles. Sun Tzu stresses the importance of knowing oneself, including one's strengths and weaknesses, as well as knowing one's enemy. He states that understanding the enemy's strengths and weaknesses is crucial for victory. He also emphasizes the importance of knowing the terrain and the environment, and how it can be used to one's advantage. Sun Tzu then outlines 5 key factors that must be considered in any military campaign: the Tao, the way, heaven, earth, the commander, and method and discipline. He explains that the Tao refers to the overall strategy, and that it is important to choose a strategy that is in line with the overall goals of the state. Heaven refers to the weather and other natural factors that may impact the campaign, while earth refers to the terrain and other environmental factors. The commander refers to the leader of the campaign, and method and discipline refer to the tactics and discipline used by the troops. Sun Tzu also emphasizes the importance of flexibility in warfare, stating that all warfare is based on deception. He encourages the use of tactics such as feints and surprise attacks to keep the enemy off balance. He also warns against becoming too attached to any one strategy or tactic, as the enemy will eventually adapt and find a way to counter it. In conclusion, Chapter 1 of The Art of War lays the foundation for the rest of the book, emphasizing the importance of careful planning and calculation in military campaigns. Sun Tzu stresses the need for a deep understanding of oneself and the enemy, as well as the environment and other factors that may impact the campaign. He also emphasizes the importance of flexibility and adaptability in order to keep the enemy off balance. 2. Doing battle. Chapter 2 of The Art of War is titled Doing Battle, and it focuses on the importance of timing and strategy in battle. Sun Tzu begins by stating that there is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare, emphasizing the importance of quick and decisive victories. Sun Tzu then discusses the different types of terrain and how they should be used in battle. He states that when you surround an army, leave an outlet free, meaning that it is important to leave a way out for the enemy in order to avoid a desperate fight to the death. He also emphasizes the importance of using natural obstacles such as mountains and rivers to one's advantage, as well as creating artificial obstacles such as moats and trenches. Sun Tzu then discusses the different types of ground that may be encountered in battle, including intersecting ground, death ground, and desperate ground. Intersecting ground refers to terrain that is easy to enter and exit, and should be avoided in favor of terrain that is difficult to enter and exit. Death ground refers to terrain that is difficult to escape from, and should be avoided unless it is absolutely necessary. Desperate ground refers to terrain that can be used to one's advantage, even if it is difficult to defend. Sun Tzu also emphasizes the importance of deception in battle, stating that all warfare is based on deception. He encourages the use of tactics such as spies and false information in order to confuse and mislead the enemy. He also discusses the importance of timing, stating that in war, timing is everything. He encourages the use of surprise attacks and sudden movements in order to catch the enemy off guard. Sun Tzu then discusses the different types of armies and their strengths and weaknesses. He states that there are 5 dangerous faults which may affect a general: recklessness, cowardice, a hasty temper, a delicacy of honor which is sensitive to shame, over-solicitude for his men. He encourages generals to avoid these faults and to lead by example, inspiring their troops through their own bravery and discipline. Finally, Sun Tzu discusses the importance of rewards and punishments in motivating troops. He emphasizes the need for fairness and consistency in these measures, stating that if you punish before you have established your authority, they resent the punishment. If you show approval and praise before you have established your authority, they make light of your praise. In conclusion, Chapter 2 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of timing, strategy, and deception in battle. Sun Tzu encourages the use of natural and artificial obstacles to one's advantage, as well as the importance of choosing the right terrain for battle. He also stresses the importance of leadership and motivation in inspiring troops to victory. 3. Planning attacks. Chapter 3 of The Art of War is titled Planning Attacks, and it focuses on the importance of strategic planning and deception in attacking an enemy. Sun Tzu begins by stating that, in war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. He emphasizes the importance of selecting targets that are vulnerable and avoiding direct confrontations with strong enemies. Sun Tzu then discusses the importance of deception in planning attacks. He encourages the use of tactics such as false appearances and diversionary attacks in order to mislead the enemy and catch them off guard. He also emphasizes the importance of reconnaissance, stating that knowing the enemy enables you to take the offensive, knowing yourself enables you to stand on the defensive. Sun Tzu then discusses the different types of attacks that can be used, including the direct attack, the indirect attack, the divided attack, and the decoy attack. He explains that each type of attack has its own advantages and disadvantages, and that the choice of attack should be based on a careful analysis of the situation. Sun Tzu also emphasizes the importance of speed and surprise in planning attacks. He encourages the use of sudden movements and surprise attacks in order to catch the enemy off guard and gain the advantage. He also discusses the importance of maintaining momentum once an attack has begun, stating that when the enemy is at ease, be able to weary him, when well-fed, to starve him, when at rest, to make him move. Sun Tzu then discusses the importance of leadership in planning attacks. He emphasizes the need for generals to be decisive and to act quickly, stating that the good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. He also stresses the importance of maintaining discipline and morale among the troops, stating that the skillful leader subdues the enemy's troops without any fighting, he captures their cities without laying siege to them, he overthrows their kingdom without lengthy operations in the field. Finally, Sun Tzu discusses the importance of adapting to changing circumstances in planning attacks. He emphasizes the need for flexibility and the ability to adapt to unexpected developments, stating that water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows. The soldier works out his victory in relation to the foe whom he is facing. In conclusion, Chapter 3 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of strategic planning, deception, and speed in planning attacks. Sun Tzu encourages the use of reconnaissance and careful analysis in selecting targets and choosing the type of attack. He also stresses the importance of leadership and discipline in inspiring and motivating troops. Finally, he emphasizes the need for flexibility and adaptability in responding to changing circumstances. 4. Formation. Chapter 4 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is titled Formation and focuses on the importance of strategic formation in warfare. Sun Tzu argues that a well-organized formation is essential for victory, and he explains various principles for forming effective battle formations. Sun Tzu begins by emphasizing the importance of knowing oneself and one's enemy, and the terrain on which the battle will be fought. He argues that this knowledge is essential for developing a successful formation. He then goes on to discuss the 5 factors that should be considered when forming a battle formation: the moral law, the climate, terrain, the leader, and discipline. According to Sun Tzu, the moral law refers to the army's spirit and sense of purpose. He argues that an army with high morale will fight more effectively and that a leader's ability to inspire and motivate troops is key to developing a strong formation. The climate and terrain are also important factors, as they can affect an army's ability to move and fight effectively. A leader must adapt their formation to the conditions of the environment. Sun Tzu then discusses the importance of selecting the right type of formation for the situation. He explains that there are many different types of formations, each with its own advantages and disadvantages. He discusses the 3 main types of formation: the wedge formation, the parallel formation, and the lozenge formation. The wedge formation is used when attacking a narrow front, such as a mountain pass. It involves placing the strongest troops at the front of the formation, with weaker troops behind. This allows the army to break through the enemy's defenses quickly. The parallel formation is used when the enemy has a strong defense and attacking head-on is not feasible. It involves dividing the army into smaller units and attacking from multiple directions at the same time. This allows the army to outflank the enemy and attack from the rear. The lozenge formation is used when the army is defending against an attack. It involves placing the strongest troops at the front and back of the formation, with weaker troops on the sides. This allows the army to defend against an attack from any direction. Sun Tzu also emphasizes the importance of maintaining discipline within the formation. He argues that an army that is well disciplined and organized will be able to react quickly to changing circumstances and adjust its formation as needed. Finally, Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of communication within the formation. He argues that a leader must be able to communicate effectively with their troops in order to coordinate their movements and ensure that everyone is working towards the same goals. In conclusion, Chapter 4 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of strategic formation in warfare. Sun Tzu argues that a well-organized formation is essential for victory, and he provides principles for forming effective battle formations. He discusses the importance of knowing oneself and one's enemy, and the terrain on which the battle will be fought. He also emphasizes the importance of selecting the right type of formation for the situation, maintaining discipline, and effective communication. 5. Force. Chapter 5 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is titled Force and focuses on the importance of utilizing military force in warfare. Sun Tzu argues that the use of force is essential for victory, but that it must be used strategically and with careful consideration. Sun Tzu begins by emphasizing the importance of understanding the concept of force. He explains that force can take many different forms, including physical force, moral force, and the force of timing. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to recognize and utilize all forms of force in order to be successful in battle. Sun Tzu then discusses the importance of using force in a way that is appropriate for the situation. He argues that an army should always seek to achieve victory with the least possible use of force, as this will save lives and resources. He also emphasizes the importance of understanding the strengths and weaknesses of one's own forces and those of the enemy, and using this knowledge to develop a strategic plan for using force. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss the importance of speed and surprise in using force. He argues that an army should always seek to strike quickly and unexpectedly, as this will catch the enemy off guard and give them an advantage. He also emphasizes the importance of adapting one's use of force to the changing circumstances of battle. Sun Tzu then discusses the importance of morale in using force. He argues that an army with high morale will fight more effectively and be more likely to achieve victory. He also emphasizes the importance of inspiring and motivating one's own troops, as well as sowing dissent and disunity among the enemy's forces. Sun Tzu also discusses the importance of deception in using force. He argues that an army should always seek to deceive the enemy and create a sense of uncertainty and confusion. He suggests various tactics for achieving this, including feints, false retreats, and the use of spies and double agents. Finally, Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of flexibility and adaptability in using force. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to quickly adapt to changing circumstances and make strategic decisions on the fly. He also emphasizes the importance of being able to identify and exploit weaknesses in the enemy's forces. In conclusion, Chapter 5 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of utilizing military force in warfare. Sun Tzu argues that the use of force is essential for victory, but that it must be used strategically and with careful consideration. He discusses the importance of understanding the concept of force, using force appropriately, speed and surprise, morale, deception, and flexibility and adaptability. A skilled leader who can master all these aspects will be able to effectively use force in battle and achieve victory. 6. Weakness and Strength. Chapter 6 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is titled Weakness and Strength and focuses on the importance of understanding the strengths and weaknesses of one's own forces and those of the enemy. Sun Tzu argues that a skilled leader must be able to identify and exploit weaknesses in the enemy's forces in order to achieve victory in battle. Sun Tzu begins by emphasizing the importance of knowing oneself and one's own forces. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to identify their own strengths and weaknesses, as well as those of their troops. He also emphasizes the importance of using this knowledge to develop a strategic plan for using one's own strengths and minimizing weaknesses. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss the importance of knowing one's enemy. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the enemy's forces, as well as their overall strategy and tactics. He emphasizes the importance of using this knowledge to develop a plan for exploiting the enemy's weaknesses and minimizing their strengths. Sun Tzu then discusses various tactics for exploiting the enemy's weaknesses. He argues that an army should always seek to attack the enemy's weakest points and avoid their strongest. He also emphasizes the importance of using surprise and deception to catch the enemy off guard and exploit their vulnerabilities. Sun Tzu then discusses the importance of knowing when to attack and when to wait. He argues that an army should only attack when the conditions are favorable and the odds of victory are high. He also emphasizes the importance of waiting for the right opportunity to present itself and not rushing into battle prematurely. Sun Tzu also discusses the importance of flexibility and adaptability in warfare. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to quickly adapt to changing circumstances and make strategic decisions on the fly. He also emphasizes the importance of being able to identify and exploit weaknesses in the enemy's forces, even as they are changing. Finally, Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of balance in warfare. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to balance offense and defense, strength and weakness, and risk and reward in order to achieve victory in battle. In conclusion, Chapter 6 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of understanding the strengths and weaknesses of one's own forces and those of the enemy. Sun Tzu argues that a skilled leader must be able to identify and exploit weaknesses in the enemy's forces in order to achieve victory in battle. He discusses the importance of knowing oneself and one's own forces, knowing one's enemy, exploiting weaknesses, knowing when to attack and when to wait, flexibility and adaptability, and balance. A skilled leader who can master all these aspects will be able to effectively exploit weaknesses and achieve victory in battle. 7. Armed Struggle. Chapter 7 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is titled Armed Struggle and focuses on the importance of strategy and tactics in winning battles. Sun Tzu argues that an army must be well-trained, well-equipped, and well-led in order to achieve victory in battle. Sun Tzu begins by discussing the importance of discipline in the army. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to maintain strict discipline among their troops, and punish any who disobey orders or act cowardly in battle. He emphasizes the importance of training, drilling, and rehearsing so that troops are well prepared and confident in their abilities. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss the importance of positioning and timing in battle. He argues that an army must be positioned in a way that maximizes their strengths and minimizes their weaknesses, and that they must attack at the right moment in order to achieve victory. He also emphasizes the importance of surprise and deception in catching the enemy off guard and gaining the upper hand. Sun Tzu also discusses various tactics for attacking and defending in battle. He emphasizes the importance of using terrain to advantage, such as using high ground to gain a strategic advantage or using natural barriers to protect one's forces. He also discusses the importance of using different types of weapons and formations to confuse and overwhelm the enemy. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss the importance of morale in battle. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to inspire their troops and keep their spirits high, even in the face of adversity. He emphasizes the importance of leading by example and rewarding bravery and valor in battle. Sun Tzu also discusses the importance of knowing when to retreat in battle. He argues that an army must be able to recognize when they are at a disadvantage and must retreat in order to regroup and come up with a new strategy. Finally, Sun Tzu discusses the importance of preparation and planning in warfare. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to anticipate the enemy's moves and come up with a strategic plan to counter them. He emphasizes the importance of gathering intelligence and having a clear understanding of the enemy's strengths and weaknesses. In conclusion, Chapter 7 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of strategy and tactics in winning battles. Sun Tzu argues that an army must be well-trained, well-equipped, and well-led in order to achieve victory in battle. He discusses the importance of discipline, positioning and timing, tactics for attacking and defending, morale, knowing when to retreat, and preparation and planning. A skilled leader who can master all these aspects will be able to effectively use strategy and tactics to achieve victory in battle. 8. 9 Changes. Chapter 8 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is titled 9 Changes and discusses the concept of adapting to changing circumstances in warfare. Sun Tzu argues that a skilled leader must be able to recognize and respond to changes in the battlefield in order to achieve victory. Sun Tzu begins by discussing the importance of understanding the 9 different types of ground: dispersive, frontier, key, communicating, focal, serious, difficult, enclosed, and deaf. He argues that an army must be able to recognize the type of ground they are on and adjust their tactics accordingly. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss the importance of adapting to changing circumstances in battle. He argues that an army must be able to recognize when the situation has changed and adjust their tactics accordingly. He emphasizes the importance of flexibility and adaptability in order to achieve victory. Sun Tzu also discusses the concept of momentum in battle. He argues that an army must be able to recognize when they have the momentum on their side and press their advantage. He also emphasizes the importance of not becoming complacent when things are going well, and being prepared to respond to any sudden changes in the battlefield. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss the importance of deception in warfare. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to deceive their enemy in order to gain the upper hand. He emphasizes the importance of using decoys, feints, and other tactics to deceive the enemy and gain an advantage. Sun Tzu also discusses the importance of understanding the psychology of the enemy. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to recognize the enemy's strengths and weaknesses and exploit them. He emphasizes the importance of understanding the enemy's mindset and using psychological tactics to gain an advantage. Finally, Sun Tzu discusses the importance of knowing when to engage in battle and when to avoid it. He argues that an army must be able to recognize when they are at a disadvantage and avoid battle if necessary. He also emphasizes the importance of being patient and waiting for the right moment to engage in battle. In conclusion, Chapter 8 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of adapting to changing circumstances in warfare. Sun Tzu discusses the importance of understanding different types of ground, being flexible and adaptable, recognizing momentum, using deception, understanding the psychology of the enemy, and knowing when to engage in battle. A skilled leader who can master these concepts will be able to effectively adapt to changing circumstances in order to achieve victory in battle. 9. Army Maneuvers. Chapter 9 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is titled Army Maneuvers and focuses on the different tactics and strategies that can be used to outmaneuver an enemy army. Sun Tzu begins by discussing the importance of speed and timing in warfare. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to move their army quickly and at the right time in order to catch the enemy off guard. He emphasizes the importance of using speed and timing to gain an advantage in battle. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss the importance of deception in warfare. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to deceive the enemy in order to gain the upper hand. He emphasizes the importance of using feints, false retreats, and other tactics to deceive the enemy and create openings for attack. Sun Tzu also discusses the importance of knowing the enemy's strengths and weaknesses. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to exploit the enemy's weaknesses and avoid their strengths. He emphasizes the importance of using tactics that will neutralize the enemy's strengths and take advantage of their weaknesses. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss the different types of maneuvers that can be used in battle. He describes the frontal assault, the flank attack, the encirclement, and the siege. He explains the advantages and disadvantages of each maneuver and when they should be used. Sun Tzu also discusses the importance of terrain in warfare. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to use the terrain to their advantage and avoid any disadvantages. He emphasizes the importance of studying the terrain before engaging in battle and using it to create strategic advantages. Finally, Sun Tzu discusses the importance of discipline and unity within an army. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to maintain discipline and ensure that all soldiers are working together towards a common goal. He emphasizes the importance of using rewards and punishments to motivate soldiers and maintain discipline. In conclusion, Chapter 9 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of speed, deception, knowing the enemy, using different types of maneuvers, understanding the terrain, and maintaining discipline and unity within an army. A skilled leader who can master these concepts will be able to effectively outmaneuver an enemy army and achieve victory in battle. 10. Ground Formation. Chapter 10 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is titled Terrain and focuses on the importance of understanding and utilizing terrain in warfare. Sun Tzu begins by stating that the wise general carefully studies the terrain before engaging in battle. He argues that terrain can be used to the advantage of an army or can be a disadvantage, and that a skilled leader must be able to recognize and exploit these factors. Sun Tzu goes on to discuss the different types of terrain that can be encountered in battle. He describes how each type of terrain can be used to an army's advantage or disadvantage, and provides examples of battles where terrain played a key role. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of understanding the characteristics of different types of terrain, such as mountains, forests, rivers, and plains. He also discusses the importance of understanding the weather and how it can affect the terrain and the movements of an army. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss the importance of flexibility in adapting to different types of terrain. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to adjust their tactics and formations to fit the terrain they are fighting on, and must be able to exploit any weaknesses or vulnerabilities in the enemy's formation. Sun Tzu also discusses the importance of understanding the strengths and weaknesses of an army in relation to the terrain. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to recognize their own strengths and weaknesses, as well as those of their enemy, in order to effectively use the terrain to their advantage. Sun Tzu concludes the chapter by emphasizing the importance of studying the terrain and understanding its effects on the battlefield. He argues that a skilled leader who can use terrain to their advantage can achieve victory even against a stronger or larger enemy force. In conclusion, Chapter 10 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of understanding and utilizing terrain in warfare. Sun Tzu argues that a skilled leader must be able to recognize the strengths and weaknesses of their own army and their enemy, and must be able to adjust their tactics and formations to fit the terrain they are fighting on. By doing so, they can gain an advantage and achieve victory on the battlefield. 11. 9 Grounds. Chapter 11 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is titled 9 Grounds and focuses on different types of ground that an army may encounter in warfare. Sun Tzu begins by stating that there are 9 different types of ground, each with its own advantages and disadvantages. He argues that a skilled leader must be able to recognize these different types of ground and adapt their tactics accordingly. The first type of ground is dispersive ground, which is characterized by multiple paths and numerous obstacles. Sun Tzu argues that this type of ground favors the defense, as it can be difficult for an attacking force to maintain cohesion. The second type of ground is facile ground, which is characterized by easy access and clear pathways. Sun Tzu argues that this type of ground favors the attacker, as it allows for easy movement and the ability to quickly surround and defeat the enemy. The third type of ground is contentious ground, which is characterized by positions that are difficult to hold and easy to lose. Sun Tzu argues that this type of ground favors the attacker, as the defending force will have difficulty holding their position. The fourth type of ground is open ground, which is characterized by flat terrain with no natural barriers. Sun Tzu argues that this type of ground favors the attacker, as it allows for quick movement and the ability to surround and defeat the enemy. The fifth type of ground is ground of intersecting highways, which is characterized by a location where multiple roads converge. Sun Tzu argues that this type of ground favors the attacker, as it provides multiple routes of attack and can be used to confuse and disorient the enemy. The sixth type of ground is serious ground, which is characterized by a location that is difficult to escape from. Sun Tzu argues that this type of ground favors the defense, as the attacking force will have difficulty retreating if the battle goes poorly. The seventh type of ground is difficult ground, which is characterized by steep terrain or other natural obstacles. Sun Tzu argues that this type of ground favors the defense, as it can be difficult for an attacking force to maintain cohesion and move through the difficult terrain. The eighth type of ground is hemmed-in ground, which is characterized by a location that is surrounded by natural obstacles such as mountains or bodies of water. Sun Tzu argues that this type of ground favors the defense, as it allows for easy defense of the perimeter and can make it difficult for an attacking force to surround and defeat the enemy. The ninth and final type of ground is desperate ground, which is characterized by a location where an army is backed into a corner and has no way to retreat. Sun Tzu argues that this type of ground favors the defense, as it can make an army fight with greater determination and desperation. Sun Tzu then goes on to discuss how a skilled leader can use each of these types of ground to their advantage, and provides examples of battles where the successful use of a particular type of ground played a key role in victory. In conclusion, Chapter 11 of The Art of War emphasizes the importance of recognizing and adapting to the different types of ground that an army may encounter in warfare. Sun Tzu argues that a skilled leader must be able to recognize the advantages and disadvantages of each type of ground, and adjust their tactics accordingly. By doing so, they can gain an advantage and achieve victory on the battlefield. 12. Fire attacks. Chapter 12 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu discusses the use of fire attacks in warfare. Fire attacks can be used to destroy the enemy's supplies and facilities, to cause chaos and confusion in the enemy's ranks, and to weaken their morale. However, Sun Tzu cautions that the use of fire attacks should be carefully considered, as they can easily get out of control and cause harm to one's own troops or civilians. Sun Tzu describes various types of fire attacks, including burning the enemy's camps, attacking with incendiary weapons, and using fire ships to destroy enemy fleets. He also emphasizes the importance of understanding wind and weather conditions when planning a fire attack, as these can greatly affect the outcome. Sun Tzu also notes that fire attacks can be used as a deception tactic, to distract the enemy's attention from one's true intentions or to create a diversion. He advises that fire attacks should always be used in conjunction with other tactics, and that their use should be carefully timed and coordinated with other actions. One key theme throughout the chapter is the importance of careful planning and preparation when using fire attacks. Sun Tzu stresses that fire attacks should be executed with precision and with a clear understanding of the enemy's movements and intentions. He also emphasizes the importance of maintaining discipline and control among one's own troops during a fire attack, to prevent the attack from becoming chaotic and unmanageable. Overall, this chapter emphasizes the strategic value of fire attacks in warfare, while also cautioning against their potential dangers and drawbacks. Sun Tzu advises that fire attacks should only be used when they can be executed with precision and control, and when they will have a decisive impact on the outcome of the battle. 13. Using spies. Chapter 13 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu is devoted to the topic of using spies in warfare. Sun Tzu argues that intelligence is one of the most important factors in achieving victory in war, and that spies can provide critical information about the enemy's strengths, weaknesses, movements, and intentions. Sun Tzu provides detailed guidance on how to recruit and use spies effectively. He stresses the importance of secrecy and deception in the recruitment of spies, and advises that they should be carefully selected and trained to ensure their loyalty and reliability. Sun Tzu also discusses the importance of gathering information through a variety of sources, including local inhabitants, prisoners of war, and double agents. He emphasizes the need for spies to blend in with the local population and to gather information in a discreet and unobtrusive manner. Sun Tzu also discusses the importance of using spies to deceive and mislead the enemy. He advises that false information should be disseminated to the enemy through spies, and that spies should be used to create confusion and discord within the enemy's ranks. One of the key themes of this chapter is the importance of knowing oneself and one's enemy. Sun Tzu emphasizes that understanding the enemy's strengths, weaknesses, and motivations is essential for successful espionage, and that this knowledge can be used to anticipate and thwart the enemy's plans. Sun Tzu concludes the chapter by warning against over-reliance on spies, and by emphasizing the importance of using other tactics and strategies in conjunction with espionage. He advises that spies should be used sparingly and strategically, and that they should be supplemented with other forms of intelligence gathering and analysis. Overall, this chapter highlights the critical role that espionage plays in warfare, and provides detailed guidance on how to recruit, train, and use spies effectively. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of secrecy, deception, and discretion in espionage, and stresses the need for a comprehensive and nuanced understanding of the enemy in order to achieve success.